What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to the Manny K Way. My name is Manpreet Kaur, Manny K for short, and I make weekly videos on self and spiritual development. Welcome to today's video, which is the second part in our 5 signs that you're going through a spiritual awakening series. I'm going to provide the link for part 1 in the description below. I definitely recommend that you take a look at that video before you watch this one. And with that, let's get to the next 5 signs that you're going through a spiritual awakening. The first one I want to talk about is if you're having a disruption in your sleep pattern. So all that means is either you're having trouble falling asleep or you're waking up during certain hours of the night. So if you are being woken up at certain hours of the night, sometimes we get really frustrated that we can't fall asleep because we have an early day the next day, or we're really tired and we really wish that we could just go back to sleep. I'm going to challenge you in these moments to meditate and really see what channeled messages you're getting from source. More than often, you are being jolted awake because there is a message or the universe is sending you energy that it feels that you deserve and are ready for in order to awaken and step into your true life's purpose. So these are going to be little nudges from the universe where you get to channel in and see what sort of inspiration you're getting in these moments. So number 1 is that change in your sleeping pattern. Number 2 has to do with being drawn to healthy, conscious eating. So we all go through time periods in our life where we are focusing deeply on health and wellness. Maybe we're trying to get ready for the summertime, or we feel like we haven't been as healthy lately, so we want to redirect and realign when it comes to our health and wellness goals. So we start eating differently and we start being healthy. But a problem that we usually have is that sustainability and accountability when it comes to making that lifestyle change. So another sign when it comes to spiritual awakening is that you are now drawn to healthy eating on a more conscious and mindful basis. So what this means is that if you usually have this desire to eat certain unhealthy foods, or you crave eating when you are trying to avoid a certain problem that you're dealing with, or certain emotions that you are dealing with, so maybe you turn to food as a sense of comfort. If you continue to do that in these moments, you may start feeling like you have an aversion and you're not actually getting that same feeling of comfort from the food that you're eating, especially if it's unhealthy food. So this is not to say that you deprive yourself of having certain treat days where maybe you're eating chocolate or you're having something savory that you know isn't healthy to eat on a day-to-day basis, but you're allowed to have here and there. But it's more so that you are deciding to build a conscious relationship with your food, where you know that what you need to give your body is nutrients, and you need to provide your body with the right tools in order to process and function in a way to help serve you on a day-to-day basis. Your body is your temple. So if you are not taking care of it in the way that it needs by drinking enough water and eating the right types and amounts of food, you will start to feel sluggish and not as motivated and inspired to do the things that you want to do. So during this time of spiritual awakening, something kind of goes off in your brain where you know that you want to make this a lifestyle change. And for whatever reason, when you start going off path again, or you start to spiral into wanting to eat unhealthy food again, you are your own accountability partner in that moment, and you check yourself because you know that you want to make that lifestyle change, because you know putting the right types of foods inside of your body is so important for keeping your motivation and energy to do the things that you want to cause and create. It becomes really apparent to you at this moment that eating healthy and being conscious and mindful is a vital part in you stepping into who you're meant to be. The third sign is intimacy with nature. So what does this look like? Not only are you drawn to nature by wanting to be with it and find peace and source and inspiration in nature, but you want to create a relationship with it. You start to recognize that life is sacred. You want to work with all 5 elements: fire, wood, earth, metal, water. And you start appreciating what those elements mean, and you start recognizing how you feel around certain elements. How can you work with those elements to co-create? You start recognizing that there are certain energies that you get from each of those elements, and you desire to build that relationship with nature. In doing this and in recognizing that all life is sacred, you no longer want to harm any sort of creature, including bugs that we see in our house pop up sometimes. Sometimes we have that impulse to feel like we need to get rid of the ants or the cockroaches or the spiders. And when you're stepping into this place, you start to recognize that all life is sacred. So you no longer want to take a sandal and kill that bug. You want to let it out and let it continue to live its life. So there is this deep, overwhelming sense of immediate connection and relationship to all living things, and that desire to really create an intimate relationship with all living things, including plants and animals. The fourth sign is a heightened level of perception. So here you're really going to want to step into a place where you are starting to embody all 5 of your senses. You feel re-energized, you feel compassion and positivity, you feel a detachment and an easier way to let go of things that before you were deeply attached to. You recognize that if this is not the time for something, the time will come. Things are easier when it comes to going with the flow. You have a new lens when it comes to looking at possibilities and opportunities. You recognize that life has infinite presence and that time doesn't mean anything. You allow yourself to fill up your own cup and fill up your own body and really become the leader of your life by embodying everything that you are. You now recognize things in a different way. You hear things clearer. You see things more vividly. You taste things in a more delectable way. Everything becomes heightened and you start really living in your senses and living in a way that is so important in life, because a lot of the time we forget how important it is to use our senses and perceive things the way that they were meant to. We become so fast-paced that we forget to stop and smell the roses. We forget to authentically live life. So this sign is all about recognizing that you are having heightened perception when it comes to everything that's going on in your life. You no longer avoid things, you truly embrace things and let things become a part of your life rather than feeling like you have to avoid certain things so your plate doesn't get all filled up with the things you have to do. You now embrace everything and you feel like you really can stretch your plate with opportunities and possibilities. And this fourth sign is a beautiful segue to our fifth sign, which is all about you recognizing that you're creating a new belief system. You stop being on autopilot and you break the mental shackles that you have been holding on to for your whole life. You step into this place where you start being okay with how life lifes. When you have a bad day, you embrace that. You recognize that darkness is necessary in order for there to be light. You recognize that those things that happen are important. You recognize that going with the flow when it comes to obstacles and things that happen in your day-to-day is super important for you to stay balanced and to stay healthy. And you start to recognize that even on those days that you really feel off balance, that it's okay for you to be there. You start accepting yourself for the emotions that come up. You don't sit and dwell on the negativity for as long as you used to. You're able to shift quicker. And in being able to shift quicker, you start creating this new belief system and letting go of all the limiting beliefs that you've held on to for a long time. This sign is something that once you become aware of is when you start realizing that you're shifting and you're really opening yourself up to reach your highest self. I'm gonna go over the 5 signs real quick one more time. The first one was a change in your sleeping pattern. If you are having trouble going to sleep or if you're waking up during certain hours in the night, use that time to channel inspiration. What is the universe trying to tell you? Number 2 was being drawn to healthy, conscious, mindful eating and really recognizing that what you put in your body is super important when it comes to your health and wellness, especially what's going on with your emotions and motivation. Number 3 was having that intimacy with nature and recognizing that all life is sacred. Number 4 was having a level of heightened perception where you are truly embodying all your senses and allowing yourself to embrace all that comes your way. And that led us to number 5, which was the creation of a new belief system where you open yourself up to your highest self and really embrace your true potential. I hope you guys got true value from this video, and if you did, please comment down below. Are you experiencing any of these 5 signs, or maybe you watched part 1 over again and you recognize that you're feeling all of these things? Are you excited about where you're going, and what things have you learned about yourself through this process? Like and comment down below. I would love to hear from you guys. If you guys haven't hit subscribe or that notification bell already, please do. I make weekly videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Part 3 will definitely be coming out in a month from now. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here.